Recently I got a comment saying that I should check out the show Amphibia, as it might be something I like. The show was created by Matt Braley, who used to be a storyboard artist on Gravity Falls, a show I absolutely adore, and probably a show I'll do another video on sometime soon, so I decided to check out Amphibia, and I wanted to talk about it. I found the show compelling because at its heart, it's about multiculturalism, diversity, and how we can become better people from learning from each other. If you've not seen Amphibia, let me just give you a quick rundown about what the show is. Anne, who's a girl from our world, steals and opens a magical music box, and it transports her into a different world, which is Amphibia. This world is made up of frog people, giant bugs, and all kinds of other crazy things. And in the very first episode, Anne finds herself befriending the Planter family. The Planter family consists of Hop Pop, voiced by Bill Farmer, who's famously known as the voice of Goofy, his grandson Sprig, who's a 10-year-old little frog boy, and Sprig's younger tadpole sister, Polly. And the show mostly revolves around the blossoming friendship of Anne and Sprig, which allows the show to explore diversity episode to episode.
You're not gonna eat me. You got a name, stranger?
My name's Anne. Anne Boonchoy.
I'm Sprig Planter. Put her there.
Okay. So your hand just barfed on my hand.
At the beginning of the show, Anne and the Planter family find themselves at odds, not really being open to each other's cultures. But as each episode moves forward, they learn something new. In one episode about food, Anne teaches the Planter family about pizza. In another episode, Hop Pop teaches Anne about the importance of taking care of Bessie, the family snail and vehicle. Basically, a car in the world of Amphibia.
Right. Give me those reins. I'm ready to drive.
Not before reading this, you ain't.
What?
This is Bessie's history. Before touching a snail's range, you gotta know them. Feel their heartbeat next to you.
These exchanges that happen throughout the episodes open each character up to seeing the world from a different, diverse lens. And diversity was always something that Matt Braley wanted to bring to Amphibia as a show. Reflecting on his own life as a Thai American, he wanted to make the lead character of Anne Thai American as well. And in an article with the Center of Asian American Media, he stated, "For me as a creator, having this Thai character was almost a #1 priority for me, so that other kids like me growing up could look at the TV screen and be like, hey, that's me. Or, hey, I'm there too." I think something this specific was only going to be done by someone who had a Thai background. As a child, Braley would take summer trips to Thailand with his mom, and he would learn about the food, the culture, and the things that make Thailand so different from his home in California. It's this idea that's at the center of Amphibia that gives it so much heart and meaning. The jokes are pretty funny for a kids show, and the animation looks great. But the stories about Anne and the Planter family learning and appreciating other cultures is really what makes this show so unique. It can be difficult to get outside of your comfort zone, the common world that you're used to. But Anne is forced outside of her comfort zone because she's in Amphibia. And because she's forced to embrace this new culture, she grows and matures in ways she may not have before. She grows to understand and acknowledge that her worldview is one of many, and may not be the exact same way that Sprig and his family see the world. And we're so lucky to live in a time period where cultural diversity is so easy to seek out, and it's so easy to expand our worldviews. We have things like social media and documentaries and books and photography and all of this knowledge that can be accumulated so easily. Even if we never travel outside of our hometowns, we can use all of these different tools to understand people outside of our normal. That said, like the Planter family inviting Anne into their world, into their home, we should also embrace and welcome others into our normal. That invitation not only forces us to see a different worldview, it also teaches us to be more empathetic, especially as we help others adapt to the world that we live in. Something as equally as important as diversity is finding the similarities between two cultures. For many of us, we have an us versus them mentality, finding it difficult to accept someone so far and distant. We see them as worlds apart. We see them as unrelatable. but that just simply isn't the case. It's Anne and Sprig that find themselves having such similar interests.
Oh, Ivy meet Anne, oddity from another world. Anne meet Ivy, childhood acquaintance and occasional sparring partner.
When Anne discovers that Sprig has a crush on Ivy, we see that love is universal, as are things like wanting to have fun, or family bonds, or our desires to be better than we currently are. Learning to expand your worldview is one thing, but to also learn that we all share needs in life. It makes it easier to show compassion and empathy towards others. This same idea of cultural diversity can also be applied to gender and age. I don't find it a coincidence that Braley decided to make Anne a girl character and Sprig a boy character. And the show doesn't just include Hop Pop as a fatherly figure or grandfatherly figure. He plays an integral part in the relationships that Anne has in the show. And he teaches her about the generations and history of Amphibia and what he has handed down to his grandson and granddaughter. He also listens to Anne and allows her to expand his own worldview. In the episode about pizza, Hop Pop listens to Anne and decides to go along with making pizza with her, even though getting those ingredients to make pizza in the world of Amphibia is a deadly task. He does it anyway because he wants to show love and appreciation to Anne and accept her into his family. He wants to understand Anne's culture, and also in doing that showcase to his grandchildren that they should also be accepting and understanding Anne's culture. We should be understanding and accepting everyone's culture. Amphibia hasn't been around that long, and it's tough to say if it's going to be one of those animated shows that sticks around in pop culture long after it's gone. Shows like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Gravity Falls, Adventure Time have all left their mark in the 21st century as classic animated shows. But I hope that Amphibia sticks around as well, not just because it's a fun show worthy of sticking around in the pop culture sphere, but its message is important and we can all take something away from it, no matter our age or gender, if we're Thai, if we're American, if we're frogs, or if we're human. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's kind of a low-key topic. This isn't about the MCU or Star Wars or some big Disney animated film. It's just about a small show on Disney Channel. The first season is up on Disney Plus if you're interested in watching that. Season 2 is currently on Disney Channel, and I believe that the show's already been greenlit for a season 3. And of course, if you're watching this video way in the future, then maybe Amphibia's been around for a long time and it is in the pop culture sphere still. Who knows? But I hope that you really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed watching the show, and I really enjoyed taking a suggestion. So if you have any suggestions for future videos, things I should be watching, things that I should be talking about, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I would love to sort through those comments and see what you guys would like to hear from me. If you want to help support the channel, you can hit up the Patreon link down below in the description, or you can click on the Patreon logo here. You could also watch another video, or you can check out another video even below that. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, keep moving forward.